Hello friends, we're going to be doing another tarot and oracle reading today. We're going to check in on the collective and see what's going on. The last time I did a reading, we talked a lot about emotional manipulation. It came up twice. I had Knight of Cups reversed and King of Cups reversed, so a lot of the conversation was essentially about some people are master manipulators, some people are not so good at it, but either way, they still affect our lives. They're still affecting the community in general. And so we're kind of just overall dealing with people not being very straightforward about, I guess, like their intentions, you know, and just kind of being wary about that. If you want to see more of that reading, you can go back and watch it. It was a few days ago, but I haven't done another reading since then. But yeah, I'll get into it. I'm going to pick some cards and then I'll come back with a little bit more of the reading. What's instantly popping out to me is this idea of disillusionment with this moon card reversed. So people are kind of waking up to the reality of a lot of different things. Some people might be going a little bit deeper into it and buckling down or doubling down because, you know, sometimes people feel safer in the narratives that they've created for themselves, especially if they've risked so much to continue to believe in that thing that they believe in. So the disillusionment for them can be a terrifying time where they might double down for survival instinct reasons, because, you know, if you have to open yourself up to the fact that you were likely wrong about something and you being wrong about that resulted in a lot of horrible things happening, then you also have to sit with that. And people who are already kind of like not strong enough to hold themselves accountable in smaller like interactions is not going to have the capacity to hold themselves accountable over something that is much larger. So it's kind of what we're dealing here with this like disillusionment in general. Some people are waking up and wanting to take action. Some people are waking up, or no, some people are holding the covers over their head and just like pinning it down, and they don't want to wake up from what is like happening around them. I also have Page of Wands here too, so this tells me that there's a lot of learning when it comes to our passions here. I think a lot of people are becoming more passionate about what's going on, and I think it's because of this idea of passing things on to the next generation. I talked about that a little bit last time, that like financially and physically or material wise in general, people might be wondering about like what the next generation is going to receive. There's a lot of fear about what's going to happen to the next batch of humans who are coming through. You know, a lot of people are not wanting to have children because of this reason, right? And so this like disillusionment being broken open, I think for a lot of people, this is kind of like forcing them to want a better world and to fight for it, which is what I'm getting with this Page of Wands. So I think a lot of people are learning. The fact that a lot of people are signing up to run for something and are putting themselves out on the line. A lot of people are getting into politics for the very first time in their lives, you know. I feel like a lot of people are very passionate and very involved because they want this better world for the next generation and they're willing to fight for it. And we're being put in this position where we have to. Like a lot of people are waking up, literally on both sides, people are waking up to the fact that the people who have been controlling everything for a long time don't care about us. They don't care about the future. They don't care about having a future at all. In fact, there's a little bit of a disdainment in general to human beings. If you talk to some of the like top tech people who are in charge of a lot of this stuff, I'm trying not to say anything like super specific because I don't want to end up on any bad like timelines. You know what I mean? I just don't want anybody commenting mean stuff to me. But whenever you go and listen to these like top tech people, what a lot of them are talking about is basically they have no humanity for themselves. They either hate themselves or they hate human beings in general. Whatever it is, it's leading to this like need and this want for like some sort of like almost extinction. Like it's like a punishment almost. I don't know if we're going through like some sort of like karma cycle in general. We might be. I'm not an expert on those things, but it's very possible. But it's also making people more passionate because they want to get to that next level. And I have gotten the message a few times that like we're going to be okay. On an individual level, I can't promise anybody's going to be okay. But like overall as like humanity at large, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. You know, we've been here before historically. And so we'll make it through to the next level again. But yeah, so that's what I have here. I'm going to pull some oracle cards to add to this reading. If you've watched my videos before, then you're going to laugh because abundance popped out again. Abundance keeps popping out. And I keep being like, when? Bring that abundance over here because I want some of it. Sorry about the trucks. They're actually doing a very controversial thing on my street. There's this tree that's been there for like forever. But the way that they built the street is like it kind of goes around and curves around the tree, but they want to get rid of the tree. And it's super controversial because this tree has been here for like over 100 years. It's been here like longer than the town. And so to make everybody happy, they've decided that they're going to uproot the tree and move it to a different location, which of course could result in completely killing the tree anyways. Just kind of shows how much it is to prioritize, you know, how to make money versus like, you know, just like literally there's a neighborhood right there where they could like go a little bit more into the neighborhood and wind out the street a little bit more, but they won't do that. So instead they're going to kill this tree that's been here for like 100 years. Anyways, little tidbit for the people who actually watch my full videos. So anyways, we have abundance. Good things are on the way. When are they coming? We'll have to see. With the page of, you know what? No, I'll go back to the moon because this popped out to me whenever I was drawing the oracle cards. What came out to me with the moon reversed is the worker bee, and I think that that's part of this disillusionment is like, what are we working for? Like, if you do a good job and try to be a good little worker bee and you do what you need to do to keep the colony going and all that stuff, but like, why? What is the result of it? Especially if they do take away like the different programs that they want to, you know, if you pay your entire life into this program and that with the guarantee that you're going to have it at the end of your life and then it's not available to you, then what was the point? You know, it really just like completely dehumanizes people, of course. Like that's their whole point, right? So dehumanize people so that they can take away the things they've worked their entire lives to have and say that they don't deserve them. That's one. But also, it's just like a scam. You know what I mean? It just like, it totally is manipulative and completely takes advantage of people. So I think a lot of people are waking up to that idea, you know, and also, I mean, there's not really much work out there. Everybody's applying. I saw this guy the other day. He got 2 job offers in the last 10 months and he applied to over 3,000 jobs. So I've been being a little less like particular about my application anymore because I feel like a lot of times they're not even going to see it. If like 1,000 people apply to the job and they just use AI to look for certain things and I don't make the top 50 or whatever, then I'm not going to get selected. I'm not even going to get an interview. No one's going to even see my application. So I've like worried a little bit less about like making sure my application is perfect because of these reasons. And I think a lot of other people are opening their minds to it a little bit more too. People are trying to like go their own path, go their own way, but they're making it like more and more difficult for people to be able to depend on themselves. Like literally even every like little mom and pop shop you see could be part of a larger franchise. Like it's just like everything is dominated and owned by a select few group of people. And they just completely own and dominate everything. Even like the houses we live in, where we get our groceries, all that stuff. It's all dominated by the same people. And so it gets really tough to feel like, what's the point of anything? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a new age of being owned. I'm not going to say the word, but you get what I'm saying. What we have with this Page of Wands is people really prioritizing joy. I think that's what people are learning again, is how to enjoy their lives, especially with what's going on. Like the terror and fear is like still there, but it's not like as prevalent as like at first. I think at first there was a lot of shock for people. Even people who knew that bad things were going to happen, they didn't know it was going to be like this bad. There's only been like a select few people who are like, I knew it was going to be this bad. And it's like, I don't even believe them. I feel like they're just saying that because it makes it easier to not be proactive and do something, right? And so I think a lot of people are like prioritizing joy a little bit more. And that's also coming with that like rebellion against like having this, being that good worker bee. You know what I mean? I'm running out of time, which is funny because that's the last card we have here is time. I think people are realizing that we are running out of time. And that's with this like 6 of Cups here. So like planning for the next generation, worrying about the next generation. I think people feel like time is crunching down. We need to do something soon. We need to act soon. And it comes with that joy, I think, of people feeling a little bit more empowered to do something and make a change and, you know, do something in the world with this like Page of Wands. So we still have this like growth that we really need to make. And then we have abundance on the way. I think this abundance, we're going to keep getting it because I think this is going to be a long-term situation versus like abundance coming next week. It's more of like abundance is coming slowly over time that we really have to like work hard for. With that worker bee as well, you know, like shifting it away so much from being loyal to corporations and more of like being loyal to ourselves and our community. Okay, I'm running out of time. If you liked my video, please interact with it in some way, share it with somebody, follow me if you don't already to get more content like this, and I will see you next time.